What are you doing? You're not...
September 16th, I responded to the call of shots fired at the Washington Navy Yard. Myself and a few other United States Park Police officers responded.
Our training through FLETC has been that any kind of active shooter situation, if shots are being fired, to respond directly and get into the area where the shooter is.
And I got the word from the head range master that there was an active shooter on the Navy Yard, and I said, what building is he in? And he said he's in 197. I let out some expletives saying, that's my building, I work there, I gotta go.
Got over there with my partner Jack. We found a TAC medic from ATF.
Arrived at the Navy Yard, assisted with clearing the perimeter.
Ran to the building at the corner, met up with a couple other officers, and we immediately made entry into the northeast corner of the building.
It was just utter chaos. We formed into a active shooter team of 4 people where we proceeded up to the 3rd floor to try to find the shooter.
We had people throwing things at us. We had people who wouldn't move for us. So you actually had to physically grab them and kind of break them out of their funk.
A lot of your natural inclination is to stop and help these people. And through having the role players at FLETC, you know, having people approach you screaming erratically, we knew to just say, hey, you got to get out. You know, I've got something bigger I need to take care of.
I looked over my shoulder and I saw a deceased person on the ground. And I remember thinking to myself that, boy, this feels an awful lot like a training scenario. I knew in my mind that it wasn't, but it felt like I was just doing another scenario.
So as hard as it was to pass those people, the training is what helped us do that and get to the threat rather than take our time and possibly let him do more damage.
As a law enforcement professional and chief of police, I would highly recommend the federal law enforcement training program for active shooter to any law enforcement agency in the United States. This is world-class training. It will make your officers better, and it will protect your personnel and your community.
Police, police, where's he at?
Help us! Please help!
Where's he at? Can you get up and walk?
No, I can't walk.
Okay, if other police come in, tell them I have a black shirt on, khaki pants, that I'm a police officer. I'm looking for the shooter.
Don't leave me.
Hey, where's the shooter?
He's in the hallway.
What does it look like?
He got a white shirt and khaki pants.
Okay. Down.
Active shooter situations are unpredictable and evolve quickly. The program's focus is twofold: stop the shooter and mitigate harm to the victims. To meet this challenge, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center's program utilizes dynamic interactive drills with non-lethal ammunition. This scenario-based training simulates real situations, complete with fleeing crowds, deceased victims, and injured victims. Officers engage in these complex reenactments over and over again, each scenario so realistic the students feel the heightened stress of an actual event. Their physiological responses are monitored. And afterward, instructors use the feedback to teach students how to compensate and push past it. It's intense, dynamic training that FLETC has packaged and is delivering to other law enforcement entities. To ensure maximum training, the FLETC Active Shooter Training Program utilizes a multi-camera review system. This after-action review system enables students to see the entire scenario as it unfolds. The video review pinpoints every aspect of the situation and how the students responded to it. Instructors utilize the footage to drive home critical training, such as how to identify if there is more than one shooter, how to tactically advance in a panicked crowd, and officer down rescue tactics, as well as providing tactical medical training.
You know, we responded immediately to the threat as best we knew how, based on like our training and our experience.
The training definitely makes a difference because you know you're going into a bad situation, but you also know that there's a whole bunch of other people that are with you that have similar training.
Approximately 2 years before the incident, I had gone through the Active Shooter Instructor Training Program down at FLETC. And I thought the final exercise where they had the role players in various stages of moulage and screaming and the noise and the chaos really lent itself to what I dealt with on the day of the shooting.
Completing this course here at FLETC as an instructor in active shooter and learning individual tactics, I would now feel a lot more prepared to deal with that as an individual officer or agent than I did last year at the same time.
The 40-hour instructor course was probably the best preparation that I could have had to respond to the Navy Yard. And to think, like on the morning of September 16th, myself and Carl were actually, and the rest of our squad, we were all sitting having breakfast in DC, not thinking that, you know, in the next 2 hours, we were going to be running into the Washington Navy Yard to stop an active shooter.
There was a tremendous law enforcement response from federal, state, and local law enforcement in Building 197 that day. And the simple fact that there was not one incident of a blue on blue, and when I say blue on blue, I mean one officer engaging another officer in gunfire in that building during the entire time that building was being searched and cleared is a testament to the training the individual officers and their agencies have received and the tremendous discipline everyone displayed that day.
I noticed an officer in all black BDUs kind of signaling to me, and at that time I waved back to Officer Hiott and Officer Dorian DeSantis, and I told them that this is where I think the shooter is.
And myself and an MPD SWAT officer made entry into the last office area. Saw a wounded officer being pulled out, and when he was pulled out, myself and a SWAT member made entry into the room where we stopped the threat.
It's part of the center's mission to promote officer safety and respond to our nation's security issues. The hard truth is, such tragedies are not going away. The impact on individuals, families, and the American spirit cannot be understated. It's critical that the nation's law enforcement step up to this challenge. The federal law enforcement training centers will continue to deliver proven, effective active shooter threat training. It will not flinch in the face of extreme acts of violence. Instead, its students will rise to the level of the threat. Because stopping the shooter means ending the tragedy.
I get asked all the time, why do we train so hard and why do we train so much? Well, the answer is simple. Unfortunately, across the United States of America, what we see is way too much gun violence. And as a 37-year law enforcement person, I'm confident in saying this: there's an armed confrontation coming to a location near you soon. You better prepare now.
The federal law enforcement training centers offer 2 intense training programs that prepare all levels of law enforcement to successfully end an active shooter situation. The Active Shooter Threat Training Program is a 4-day intensive training program that utilizes tactics needed to stop an active shooter. And the ActiveShooter Threat Instructor Training Program is a 5-day program that uses the same tactics needed to stop an active shooter with additional training on instructional methodologies. The FLETC active shooter training programs were developed through partnerships with federal, state, and local law enforcement professionals from across the United States. FLETC also collaborated with professionals from Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training, ALERT, and Law Enforcement Active Shooter Emergency Response, LASER, in the design and development phases of our latest program revisions. These partnerships and collaborations help to ensure our law enforcement professionals can attend consistent quality training nationwide. For more information on active shooter programs, please visit the following website: